What is up, everyone? It is Chewburger84 from the Alternate Reality Network, back again with some Marvel Strike Force content, but I am not alone. I'm joined today by the Hulk himself, Mr. Valleyflyin. How are you, buddy?
Ooh, yeah, brother. How are you, brother?
Oh, yeah. Mate, I'm not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'm very keen on getting into this video, though. Something we just came up with about 5 seconds ago. I think it would probably be a bit of fun. So Valley, basically, he just realized that with us transferring time zones in Alliance War, it means that he and I are potentially going to go to war very soon. Now, yes. With me being maybe 2 weeks away from an Ultron, I feel bad about kicking Valley's butt that hard if we come in with me Ultron, him none. So what we decided to do is we're going to go through and have a look at his roster and see if we can get him into Fear the Darkness pretty quickly. So we're going to almost do like a not a roster review, but a team recommendation for what might be able to get him started.
I've been focused on Blitz for so long. I've been building my roster based on that. So I can't build this character too much because it won't be good in Blitz. So you've convinced me though. You've convinced me. I got to build these guys up. I got to get the Dark Dimension because Ultron is way too important. So yeah,
absolutely
changing my whole strategy here.
Absolutely. So look, I mean, I hope that this helps out people that are watching this video to be able to do this themselves. I mean, of course, between my channel and your channel, I'm sure that anyone that comes to our Discords, they'll be able to ask us any questions they have. But hopefully this gives them an idea of the best way to build a team. So let's start off first and foremost is, do you have something valuable or viable now? So let's go, if you can, into the Alliance War store. Okay. So this is the best place to start. So most people know about this, but there's a few people that don't. So I think it's handy to point out that there is a way that you can track exactly right now how many of the orange unique materials that you have.
Alrighty.
Okay, so if you go into the orb section there, 94 orbs, what are you holding?
I got a lot of premiums.
Nice, yeah, that's probably a smart idea. I say, so go to the Orange Gear War Orb and click on I, okay? Now, if you go into other rewards, that's going to bring up all the different uniques that are available in the game right now. And that breaks it up basically character by character. Nice. So let's start up in the top left. Okay, so just scroll right to the top there. Perfect. So that's our focus chi. So if we click on that one,
0.
You currently have 0. So look, the only valuable character there anyway would be Iron Fist. Okay. So you're not really missing out on too much there. It just probably rules out defenders as a short-term team. So let's see what else you've got.
0.
Gamma radiation.
This might be a very bad video.
Like it could be.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
There are a lot of people that are going to be in the same spot as you right now. So this is where we give you a plan of attack of what you can work on, because that's going to give you, I guess, a what to look for. So just going back one step, gamma radiation is probably the most important one right now. Not for Hulk, but because of Minerva. So Minerva is so overpowered right now for Dark Dimension that you kind of need that. So this is by far the most valuable resource available from this, okay?
So I'll jump for joy whenever I get one of these.
This is big news. Yeah, this is basically like getting Carnage shards out of a premium or something. Like this is a big win if you get them,
Super duper, this is what I want. All right.
So we need these. All right,
got some of these.
Across to Quantum. Okay, so the Quantum is pretty garbage anyway for the characters that are in there, so you're not missing out on much. That's not great so far.
Let's just move on then.
Absolutely, yeah. Tesseract Energy, only 3. Again, bad news is they're all Hydra Aim.
Okay, we don't need any of those.
Yeah. Molecular Cloth. There are some good choices in there. You've got Sabretooth, Punisher, and JJ. Yeah.
Okay.
So look, the good news is I've got a way that you're going to be able to get these numbers up very quickly. So we'll come to that at the end of this.
Hammer attack.
All right, so you are definitely going to be a couple of weeks away minimum from being able to build a team. that much we already know. But I mean, a lot of people are going to be in the same boat as you, mate. Okay. So not bad. All right, so let's just go quickly one by one through the next couple of lines.
Nothing here.
0. That's a wasted slot anyway.
Oh, hey.
Shield tech's good to have. That's
Shield
a good one to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who would you build from there? Shield security?
I would, yeah. I mean, the other choices in there, you've got who is it? It's Scar, Black Widow, Miss Marvel, Shield Operative, Shield Trooper, and then Shield Security. So I would go security every day.
Okay, good.
So that's a good gap.
And he's one of my only few T12 characters.
Ready.
So nice.
Yeah, so that's great.
Arcane Magic.
2. Yeah, there's not a lot of great characters there. Okay, but we'll come back to that.
All right.
Prometheum is a good one to have. Yeah, lots of characters in there.
Okay. Who would you recommend Prometheum? You have to.
From there, probably Juggernaut at this stage, because obviously it gives you a good secondary tank on top of that security. The only other really good choice on that mode is, I mean, Ronin if you're using a debuff, but I wouldn't. And then it's Gamora, who's just too squish. So I'd probably just do Jugs because I could. And then, yeah, because he does a lot of damage. I mean, we all forget that he does a lot of damage with his ultimate. He's just a little bit slow, but if you've got an energy feeder on that team, you might be able to give some love to him as well. So, yeah,
gotta love those Jugs.
Oh, absolutely, big fan of the Jugs.
I love it too. Yeah, Super Uru.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of good characters in there. Yondu's probably one of the standouts there. Loki's not too bad, but yeah, that's not the worst one to have. Okay. Carbonadium, yeah. Now that's your Star-Lord right there. So he's one of the ones that I think is going to be. This is one you really need. Yeah, I think Star-Lord Minerva is probably the best combo that I've seen so far from myself and other people in Fear the Darkness. And shout out to those people that helped me get this far as well.
Oh, looking for that
I'd love
one.
to name them, but they prefer not to. Now, Adamantium, you don't need now, but the advice that everyone has given me is save that for Ultron himself, because when you clear Fear the Darkness, you immediately get him at 7 stars. You get a big stash of orange materials, not as many as you would like apparently, but enough that you can probably T13 Ultron straight away, which then makes you just be able to immediately go back and clear time. So unbelievably quickly. So save the Adamantium. I know you just did in the video where Wolverine was a very underrated character, but don't put him on him. Save those for
I wouldn't say very underrated, but underrated.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Superior Palladium, nothing.
Yeah. Palladium has a lot of good characters in there too. So if you start pulling Palladium, that gives you some great options also.
I'm gonna need to step up my orange mat things. Vibranium.
Vibranium. Okay, yeah. So Vibranium, since Wakanda got added, every single one of them needs this. You've also got Quake in there. You've also got, there's so many good options. Captain America is in there.
Then. Super
Yeah, it is now.
I feel a little embarrassed going through all of my orange gear.
No, but see, a lot of people are going to be in exactly the same boat as you, though, mate, because in many, many cases, no one's been directly farming this. I mean, I didn't for realistically 7 months because I just assumed eventually some passive way to get these items would be introduced in the game, and it just never happened. Alliance War now, if you're getting some wins, sure, you've got a chance that you didn't previously, but it's tough. It is really tough. So we're going to talk. You go.
I haven't farmed any of these because I have maybe 3 tier 12s. So I was like, I don't have anybody even close. So
yeah, well, many of us stopped doing T12s a while back. Yeah. So this is the last line here. So those last 3. So Extremist seems to be the one that a lot of people have. Look, that's a good one to have none of. They're all garbage as well.
Good. Happy.
Oz, yeah, okay. And this next one's actually quite precious as well, because this is how you get Nick Fury. Look, don't feel bad about that. I didn't get a single one of those drop for 9 months, and that was with refreshing the store.
I remember the update on your podcast every week.
Oh my god, that's bad. It's bad.
So those are it.
So look, so this is good in a way because I think a lot of people are going to be in the same situation as you right now. Okay, so if you click OK, and let's go back to the main screen, and what we're going to do is head into the supply store. Okay.
Loading. All right.
I love the way Shuri looks with those Jaguar, those Panther gauntlets. They look gangster. This is how you get the toys. I would, for starters, buy that in front of you right now.
This one?
If you don't need gold for tomorrow, yeah, that's a good get.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotta get.
So I know gold is tight at the moment, and it's going to stop you from leveling up some of your other characters. But this is what I've been doing for around 5.5, 6 weeks now. And in that time frame, I went from no tier 13s to 7 tier 13s. Okay. Now, what I did, obviously, you already have a stash of the basic materials like that superior resistance catalyst on your screen now.
Yeah.
Now, what's difficult to get, and it's not always here, is those unique pieces like Prometheum. Okay. So what you want to do is every day you want to refresh this store. In a perfect world, you want to do that 6 times. Not in one go, but over the course of the day. So What a lot of people don't know about the stores, it's not like campaign energy where it goes 50-50, 100-100, 200-200 for the whole day. It actually resets roughly every 6 hours. So when you get your supply store refresh, it also resets your refresh counter. So it'll cost you 300 cores per day. Some days you're going to get 0. I'm not going to lie. Some days you're going to walk away with 3 to 6 unique pieces. That's just the nature of the beast. But in a very short period of time, you can go from none to basically enough to get a team into the Dark Dimension. RNG may screw you. I mean, now that you know you need these gamma radiation, I promise you won't get them. That's just the way it works. For me, the serum SO2, it's been bad.
Yeah, and that lead brick looking thing, I forget what it's called for Star-Lord.
Carbonadium, yeah. So they're the two at the moment you're going to want the most.
Okay.
And then I guess the most highly prized ones after that. So let me talk you through the ones that are a waste of time and the ones that are definitely on a must buy, okay?
Okay.
So Judas bullets, skip them. They're trash. They're a waste of time, okay?
All right.
Adamantium, it's not as urgent as the others, but you definitely want them for your second clear of Fear the Darkness. Okay, that's not my advice. That's advice that's been given to me, and I think it's very, very sound.
Okay.
Now, Hammer Tech is give or take. So, I mean, you do have Pyro and War Machine on that node, who are both fine characters. They've got AoE. The utility of Pyro has helped me out a lot in Fear the Darkness. It's also screwed me in Fear the Darkness. So, you know, being able to bleed and block characters for multiple turns, fantastic. Using it against a Deadpool just heals. So, it's give and take. It's some nodes yes, some nodes now. Now, Molecular Cloth is okay. If you're thinking about a Defenders high-level team down the track, this is where your Punisher and your Jessica Jones come from.
Okay. And you have Jessica Jones all built up, right?
I do. So I didn't have the materials for Star-Lord when I first started, so I took in JJ as an energy feeder. So in the video I released today that says don't make the same mistakes as me, don't take her in as your primary energy feed because it's too random. I mean, when it works and she's feeding to Minerva, it's awesome. You might get, 6 to 9 energy in 3 turns. But when it doesn't, it might be 0. Then you have to wait a full 7 turns to heal, and that's too long for Minerva in Dark Dimension. Now, true. Serum SO2 they're the piss jars, as we call them. Very, very highbrow, I know. That's where you want to get your Fury. I mean, Fury is just a great character all across the park. Gamma Radiation, good characters in there, but forget everyone else. It's all about Minerva. Okay. Tesseract Energy is trash. Quantum Energy is a lot of Kree and your buddy Ant-Man. So there's not a lot of awesome things in there either. Alien Spores has some usable things. You've got Groot, Mantis, Venom, Drax, and Carnage are all on the same slot.
That's a lot of them.
So Alien Spores is not bad, okay? I mean, Venom has self-heal, Carnage has self-heal, and is very fast because of his passive. So either of those two are usable. But I think
that Deadpool that you're talking about.
Exactly. That's where I'd be more inclined to go the Groot because he has obviously that Dispel. He also has that Death Proof, which can just give you a little bit of an RNG buffer that if they just stack onto your Minerva, it just can keep her alive for another turn. And then if for some reason that Groot does die, and then you get that big buff across the team, then you can resurrect him anyway with Minerva. Like, it's all good, right?
I love that in raids. I love that in raids. Sometimes I let him die on purpose.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Groot is a pretty good option. I mean, if you're running Star-Lord anyway, I mean, you can do a lot with that team, for sure.
Star-Lord, Groot, and Minerva is what I'm getting so far.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people at the moment that are asking us to help them out, and a lot of them are looking at basically going even further down the Guardians route of going Star-Lord, Minerva, and then Rocket Groot, and then just insert tank at the end. Probably a security would work well for that team, to be honest. So Arcane Magic, there's not much great in there. Mordo is probably the pick of that bunch, but I wouldn't go and buy it out of the store, let's say.
Okay.
Now, Shield Tech, for me, it's security. I mean, you've got Black Widow and Miss Marvel in there as well, but I know a lot of people that went through the first time use Brawlers because they're all of different unique items, but it's not necessarily going to get you all the way to the end of Dark Dimension easily. Uru, Loki or Yondu, only real good choices, but I wouldn't buy it out of the store. Prometheum, I think that Jugs can get you out of a lot of trouble, especially with energy feeders on the team. So Jugs is the choice there, but again, you know, I'd probably buy it just for Arena alone, to be honest, just to keep Jugs alive. Now, Oz formula, this is the interesting one. Spider-Man's probably the only real good one out there, but the way it's sort of set up in the game, you think this is where you get your pieces for Deadpool. And I actually think Deadpool could be massive in this game mode because of all the debuffs. I think he would heal himself so frequently that you wouldn't need to barely heal him. Now, I'm sure you're already aware of this, Valley, but the materials it takes to get Deadpool to T13 do not exist in the game. They're not in there.
Awesome.
The devs know it. There's no time frame as to when this is going to come in. All we know is they don't exist. So one of our good buddies from our Discord for Masters of Launch, he's had a 6th red star Deadpool at T12 with every piece he needs except for that one slot for months. I feel so bad for him because I think he would crush it. He could just walk in.
Maybe that's why he's not available. Maybe that's why they didn't put it on into a game yet.
Look,
because it would be too easy.
It could well be. Could well be. Okay, so then we have Extremis. Waste of time. It's all aim Hydra. Vibranium, buy it every single time you see it. Not for now, but we all know that Wakanda is going to be a raid meta, and every Wakanda character needs it. Okay. So they are the hardest team to get to T13 right now.
Plus, there's a lot of other characters besides Wakanda that needs that as well.
Well, I mean, you've got Cap, you've got Kingpin, you can probably skip over, but then Quake. So yeah, Quake's the one I actually used. And then, of course, I saw them put Vibranium in for all the other Wakanda characters. And I was like, maybe I should have picked someone else. Yeah, but Quake's a good choice for this because like the old days with the OG raid team, you can just slow down so many characters and get so many more turns than them that it just allows you to keep that out healing mechanic happening.
Yeah, plus that ultimate every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, being able to just get 5 guys with offense down, yeah, not too shabby at all. All right, then that brings us to Carbonadium. We already spoke about this. Buy it every time you see it. That's your Star-Lord, okay? There's some other good choices in there as well. I mean, if you're running Defenders, you have Luke Cage, but they'd probably be my last resort at the moment. Cool. Now, Palladium's getting busy. Only 2 left, mate. So you've got Cable, Daredevil, Doctor Strange. You have Magneto. Ravager Boomer obviously is a skip. Rocket, Shield Assault, and Thanos. It's a very busy slot.
Buy it every time, sounds like.
Buy Palladium every time. Every time. So that gives you options. Now, Focus Chi, the only valid one in there is Iron Fist. So it's only really about half of them that are even worth farming. And then if you look through your roster as to where you are and try not to have to take something from, let's say, T4 to T13 without needing to, you just look for a good balance. Like, what have I already got at a high level? How does that line up with these important slots? And then you can basically plan your way into Fear the Darkness. So for you, where's your Minerva and your Star-Lord sitting now?
Oh, my Minerva's very bad. I'll go into my roster right here.
Okay.
Minerva's way down here. That 4 yellow stars, no red stars. Yep. Only at tier 10.
At tier 10, yeah. So, I mean, I'd probably start making her your primary because this is a character you're definitely going to take in.
I watched your video this morning, and I've already put 1 slot on and working on the rest, so...
She's just unbelievable.
I know.
I mean, to take everyone from full health, even if you've got a heal block, straight up to maximum health every time she uses that ult. And she's basically got the most powerful AoE in Dark Dimension because it's guaranteed 15% health. Yeah. Doesn't matter if they've got defense up. Doesn't matter if they've got death proof. They're going to fall down. Yeah, it's awesome. It's so good.
7 turns of that, they're dead. You cleared the node.
Oh, exactly.
Minerva, right?
And if you have like a double energy stack, like let's say you had Nick Fury in the corner, so shedding energy to her, and then you had Star-Lord on the other side, you know, theoretically every 2 or 3 turns, depending on RNG, you might be ripping out one of those. So yeah, I mean,
I like that theory crafting. Star-Lord, Nick Fury, Minerva, Groot, and I don't know, whoever. Security.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, when you look at that on paper, you're thinking, well, you know, where's my big boom character? Because that's what we're all so used to needing in raids. But in Dark Dimension with Minerva, it's just about surviving long enough for her to use her heal, and basically a guaranteed, wipe on that board. You're not having to worry about getting a perfect ult off because you might get blinded, you might have offense down, and then you have to wait for that full rotation again. She doesn't suffer from any of that. It's literally just a war of attrition. So big boom characters, you might go in and do more damage in the same time frame over 15 minutes. But if your team stays alive for an hour and a half, it might be slower, but you're going to finish Fear the Darkness faster.
Getting that big prize that everybody wants. So.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. All right, so she's looking good. What about Star-Lord? Where's he sitting for you?
Star-Lord's a little higher up. Where is he? There he is. He's also at tier 10, but just the stars and the stars are making him
You've
higher.
got the stars, you've got the T4 on his passive as well. So, I mean, he's in great shape. All you need to do is get gear on him, right? And then he can walk in.
We're a very good team with them right now.
Now, because you got to level them from 10 to 12, that's going to be rough for material. So let's see if we've got some good candidates that you already have near the top. So Fury is a great candidate. The only issue with Fury... The only issue with him is that you need Serum SO2, which we've affectionately called piss jars, as I said before. Only 2 characters need them. So for most people, they seem to appear in the store a lot less.
Okay.
Now, we've got no official drop rates or appearance rates for that store, though. So it's very hard to confirm that. But that is definitely the way it seems to most of us, that they're quite hard to collect. Unless you're my podcast buddy, Big Roy, who walked into a 7 Red Star Fury and got nothing but piss jars. So he has a T13 Fury as of right now. Which
oh my goodness.
Yeah, man, it's a monster. So, yeah, he'll probably clear Fear the Darkness so fast that he'll probably catch me, I'd say. We'll see. So, yeah, he's a good candidate, but really hard to get his materials. So, if you do see those Serum SO2s in the store, 100% buy them for him, because that's minimal gear.
That is going on my buy list right now.
Awesome. Now, Shield Security is another great option.
She's at tier 12, so closer than anybody else. And
yeah. So that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, so I should probably do that one, and then I'm missing these right there.
The shield tech, yeah. So you've already got 3. So I mean, that's great. So that's probably your most developed character, as close to what you need as possible. So that's fantastic. Who else have we got at the top here? Your Pyro's in good shape. Close. Your Assault's in good shape.
Yeah, Pyro's close as well. Tier 10, just one more. So almost at 11.
Yeah, and you've got those 2 T4s as well, which that T4 with the ability block, the immunity, no, what's it called? The one where it stops them from getting
disrupted.
Buffs? Disrupted, yeah. So throwing out Disrupted for such tightly clustered enemies for 2 turns, the fact that it can stop offense ups from Kingpin, defense ups from Captain America's, stealths from hand sentries, because all of these things are in Fear the Darkness. That ability has saved my butt so many times. Use it. He's a good character for every node except the Deadpool ones. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that would stop me from saying to you right now, take him in.
I mean, even as basic as bleeds. So yeah, against
there's nothing
everybody against that except Deadpool.
Yeah, if you have a reliable stun against a Deadpool, that's a different story, because you can bleed him as much as you want, and as long as you can stun him out before he takes his next turn, he won't heal.
So if he's stunned and he has bleeds, he'll take those bleeds and he won't heal those?
No, he won't. He won't. Nice. So if Deadpool is stunned, his passive ceases to operate. So I can say this with confidence. Now, there is also a wonky mechanic in Fear the Darkness as well. So the first node that you come up against Deadpool, he does not heal or cleanse the bleeds. So when I saw that, I thought, this is fine. I'm going to be perfect till the end. Like, Pyro was a great choice. 2 nodes later, there's 6 Deadpools that all heal from the...
I wonder if that's a bug on that other node.
I don't know. I actually did reach out to Fox on that one and just said, look, was this intentional to give you a little bit more freedom to get through? Because I just finished telling my alliance, great news, guys. They don't heal. And then 2 nodes later, I had to go back and say, sorry, guys, I was wrong. So yeah, Pyro, I like him. I still use him on more nodes than I don't. I'm definitely going to use him on that Ultron node, because being able to block all of those abilities going on Ultron, yes, son, that is going to be awesome. So I like him a lot, but there is an element of risk if you don't take a stun into this. Now, Magneto is one that a lot of people think would be quite good in this node as well, if you've got an energy feed. because being able to blind the entire group and cluster them together, especially if you've got a pyro on the books, can be awesome.
Yeah. But the cooldown is pretty high on that, right? So
that's the thing. I mean, if you're running a super just irritating blind team, like, I mean, you could do something really weird. Like you could use 2 energy feeders. Like you might be able to do something like JJ, who's that guy? Star-Lord. Then you do, actually, there's too many characters. So you got Minerva, Star-Lord, and then you've got, let's say JJ, that's 3. You could use mags for 4, and then you could do a tank. So you have very little damage. That relies, that would rely all on Minerva, but the survivability of that team would be nuts.
Minerva healer / damage dealer for that team.
Yeah, biggest AoE in the game, man, for that particular node.
Rocket is close to tier 12 as well.
Rocket's looking good. He's Palladium, so that's a choice you would have to make because him and Magneto share an equipment slot. So, yeah, I mean, if you're taking in Star-Lord, probably take him. But there's the squish factor. I mean, he's very killable.
Very true, very true. And if he's feeding that energy to Minerva instead of Rocket.
Yeah, well, that's one bonus of only having one Guardian on the team is that when Star-Lord procs the Guardian energy, he gives it to himself. So that means he's going to blind again on the next turn, which means even more energy to Minerva. So that's a potential downside. The more Guardians you have, the less frequently he's going to energy feed. Yeah.
Quake, I got Quake at tier 11, so she's a little closer. And I know you got Quake, but she's got that Wakandan Vibranium slot.
She does,
well.
yeah. It's the only downside now is that obviously you, myself, and a couple other content creators are really looking at building a Wakanda squad. And I mean, do you need them at T13 now though? Probably not to operate. So is it a big deal? I mean, Ultron, if that Quake gets you Ultron a month faster, I mean, you're probably not going to build a Wakanda team in that period of time anyway, right? Because they're not farmable, only by purchasing.
Yeah, very good points. Probably Quake would be better because she'll be there quicker than a full Wakandan's team.
Yeah, and her kit's fine. I mean, you know, she doesn't have as much risk as some other characters. And basically, within 2 turns, you can slow their entire team because you sort of slow one half with her primary and then the other half on the next turn. And yeah, it really slows them down. If you've got Quake and Fury, you've got speed up and they've got slow down. I think that particular combination, you could really take the enemy apart.
I like it. Now, my Thanos is close. He's at tier 11.
Yeah.
It doesn't, from your video, it doesn't sound like he has as much value, though.
This is the thing. So anything that relies on a kill in an endgame game mode, it's not really worth it unless they're summoning minions all the time. Like, there is a minions node, in which case your team can go bananas if you had a Thanos and Minerva. Because Minerva's going to be getting all these bonuses from the minions dying. Thanos is going to be getting bonuses for himself and Minerva with minions dying. It could be awesome. The problem is, you know, it's taking you 10-15 minutes minimum to get a kill. So it's just not worth it. His armor's far too low for him to be as valuable as we like. His taunt sticks. That's the good news. Like, he can reliably protect everyone else. And if he is staying long enough for having Minerva to get her resurrect back up, then that's fine because she can just keep bringing him back. And if he has enough energy to immediately retaunt, maybe it's not that big a deal. But he certainly wouldn't be my first port of call, especially because to put him in, you'd have to sacrifice those 2 we just spoke about. You couldn't do Rocket, you couldn't do Magneto, you couldn't do Doctor Strange, you couldn't do Daredevil. Right? There's a lot of good choices for that particular slot for Palladium.
Now, my other question, Korath. I don't off the top of my head, I don't see a lot of value with him, but I do have 5 red stars on him, which I don't have a lot of 5 red stars. So just on that alone, would you work on him for that node? But his kit doesn't seem like it.
For exactly the same reason we just spoke about, is that if you're getting regular kills, Korath's great because he's one of the fastest characters in the game because he keeps proccing himself with speed up. He's awesome in that if you know they're about to taunt, you can get a preemptive taunt off from your guys and still hit that secondary target that you want. The heal block, the ability block, like, they're all amazing things, but he's not bringing enough utility or damage to make up for what almost any other character could do In saying that, though, he is the standout of that particular energy node. So quantum energy, the only other character that's even worth looking at is Ant-Man. So I think Korath is the winner if you end up with a lot of quantum energy.
Cool. Well, I've got a little more focus, and I'm switching up how I'm focusing on this game. Blitz has been my focus for so long. I think Dark Dimension is more of a priority. I've put it to the side. I'm like, I don't need it. But now that more and more people are getting Ultron, with Alliance Wars, I think it's more necessary now than ever.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, think about the impact that Ultron's going to have. I mean, I said this in my video today as well, is that he will define the arena meta for a period of time. He's going to be an unbelievably guaranteed to win Blitz team, regardless of who you put him with, really. You know, for raids, I mean, in Ultimus 7, anything that has a tech node, a global, a villain, he's going to wreck everything. And then, of course, you've got Alliance War. So, I mean, he is a game-changing character if you can get him. And the faster you have him, the more time that you have to benefit from that.
All right. That is my number one priority. Or maybe number two, because Shuri is my number one right now. But, Ultron. I'm working on you. I'm working on you, buddy.
That's where it's at, buddy.
All right.
So look, I hope that this has been helpful, because we had some people after my last video go, yeah, but I don't have these orange mats. Who should I pick? So that's kind of the way that we strategized when we first tried to get a few of our guys through, was doing it exactly like this, working out where you're at now, what's the minimum amount of gear that I need to spend to get from point A to point B, but not rushing out. I mean, there's no point taking in, 6 and 7 red star teams that are all Hydra and AIM trash, because you're going to get 2 nodes in, maybe, and then fall into a heap. So it is better to wait a week or two for a better team, but there are very many usable teams that will get you through fast enough if RNG hates you and you can't get the uniques you need. But what I'd love to do is keep talking to you about this over the next few weeks, mate, because I want you in there. I want to have a fair fight when the Clash of the Titans happens between the 2 big Sigma heavyweights.
I don't think I have the roster to take out an Ultimus, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not the strongest. I don't have the strongest team in the whole guild, so we'll see what happens.
Well, yet you will after this, mate. You will after this. So look, thanks for stopping by. Is there anything you want to plug before you head on out today?
Check out my channel. Got a lot of good stuff, and there is a video. Not sure when this is airing and when all that stuff is happening, but we just recorded a video, and it will be dropping sometime. Maybe before this video, maybe afterwards. Yeah. If this seems like it's out of date, it's because I'm terrible at editing. That's exactly what's happened. It's not Valley's fault at all. It's because I've been learning this so slowly. But mate, thank you very much for stopping by. Make sure that you click like and subscribe and the bell and all the fun things on YouTube. Make sure you check out the Strike Force Masters of Launch podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all the places where you find great podcasts. And we will see you very soon. Cheers. Woo.